Collaboration with Onshape. Sharing and collaborating. Presented by Wizards.exe.
Thank you so much for having us. So I'm just going to share my screen. And today we're going to have me, I'm Arjun, and we have Harbin, who's the other captain of our team, presenting about collaboration in Onshape. And the first thing we're going to talk about is importing files, because oftentimes online you might see like an odometry pod that you can download, or you're just migrating from another CAD software. In order to import a file, you go up to the top left with the Create button, click on it, and hit Import Files. I'm going to be importing a file called Demo Cylinder, though there are much more complex files you can import. This is just a basic cylinder. There's a couple different options, including importing everything into a single document, including all assemblies and subassemblies, or you can split it up into multiple documents, or combine it into a single part studio. I'm just going to keep it with the default import to a single document and hit OK. Just for an example of something cooler that you can import, I have this odometry pod right here, which I'm just going to refresh the browser and show. So this is something that we've imported into Onshape. Now we've gone back here, and you can see in the notifications, the demo cylinder.step was translated successfully. I click on that, and it'll take me to the document. I'm just going to rename it really quickly to remove the file extension. On your team, you're going to have more than just one person CADing, and you want to have the ability to share your file. So I'm going to show how to share these files with others. At the top right, you'll see the Share button. Click on that, and it opens up this window right here. There are a few different options, such as sharing with individuals, teams, public, or link sharing. I'm just going to share this with Harbin by typing his name in and clicking on it. But it's hard to share with multiple people if you have to type each of their names in individually, which is why there's sharing with teams. So if we go back, I'm going to close, and you click on your profile picture at the top right and hit My Profile, you can go to a page that looks like this. You want to click down where it says Teams and then hit Create. I'm going to create a team called Demo Team and hit the Create button. I can add team members' emails here, and I'm going to go back to the home page, which is cad.onshape.com, and on the left, you'll see there's a little tab that says Teams. You click on that, and I go to Demo Team, and this is where all of the parts shared with your team are going to be. If I go back here and I share this with Demo Team and hit Share, and then I go here back to the tab and hit Refresh Page, you'll see that the demo cylinder shows up here. Now, just having one cylinder with a demo team is usable, but on our actual team, Wizards.exe, we share a couple of different folders, including like one for previous robots, so that team members can get inspiration from looking at our previous robots when they're designing their part. Now, let's go back to the demo cylinder and take it away, Harbin.
Okay, so as soon as Arjun shared the document, I got an email with a link to the document, and I just clicked it, and I'm here. So we're going to be showing you about some of the cool ways we can work on this cylinder together. So let's just say, for instance, I want to make this a little bit longer. I can just do that right now, and it immediately shows up on Arjun's screen as well. So we can have real-time editing of the same piece, so we can do some more brainstorming together and designing together. And another really cool feature that we use a lot is the follow mode. So if Arjun would follow me right now.
Yeah, so to get into follow mode, you have to click on the user's icon twice, just double click, and you'll be able to see who's actually looking at the document, as their little icons will be here at the top. I double click on Harbin's screen, and you can see I'm not touching the document at all. And the mouse is all Harbin's.
So this purple mouse is mine. And say Arjun's just watching me right now, and I just want to create a hole in the middle of the cylinder. I can just do that right now. There we go.
Okay, so now he's created the hole, but let's say that Harbin was not online, so we couldn't just use follow mode and collaborate like that, where he could just walk me through exactly what he wanted to do. So you can see he's left the document. then how do I reach it? In other CAD software, sometimes I would just take a screenshot and say, I need to widen this hole and have that highlighted and then send him a message on like our Slack. But in Onshape, we have comments. So if you see this little thing that looks like a text bubble, you click on that and it opens up the comments. Let's say that I think that we need to make that hole bigger. So let's say we should make the hole bigger. And then I @ Harbin. What's nice about this is it sends him a notification when I @ him, and I can assign it to him. Now, in order to tag the hole, I click on this thing right here that says tag entity, and then I can go here and I select it. Now I'm going to assign this to him. And one thing that's really nice about the comments is the tag entity, because if I go here and click on the comment and click on the entity, it shows what exactly I tagged.
So as this loads, I just clicked on the link from that email again, and you can see I'm back on this document. So I see here in a comment that Arjun says I should make this hole bigger. So I can reply to him and even @ him, and I'll say, sure. Reply. Now I can make that, and right now we're not in follow mode, but this is still real life changes because I just made that hole a little bit bigger. Now I can check this box to say I completed the task.
So yeah, the box right there was right there at the top right of the comment. And now we're going to get into a little bit about the version control in Onshape. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen. Harbin, are you able to share your screen now?
Yes. So can you see my screen? Okay. So here on this middle button over here, we can see the version and history controls. So right now we're working on the main document, but we can go back to version 1 and we can see it's a little bit shorter and it doesn't have that hole in it. So now that we've made these changes, I can say these were good changes, and I can make this version 2, and you can add a short description to help your team members. Added a hole and made it longer. Create, and now it's updated to be version 2. So another really cool thing about versions in history is I'm able to create separate branches. So let's say I think this part is okay, but it can be improved a little bit. I can go back to version 2, and I can hit branch to create workspace. I can name this Harbin's branch, create it, and now over here on the display we see I'm working on Harbin's branch because it's highlighted. So let's say on second thought, this should have been a little bit shorter, and maybe add a fillet on the bottom of it so it looks a little bit nicer. And then I say these were good changes for my branch, so I'll create another version on my branch with a short description of whatever I need. I can create that. And over here, I see that I've created a new version. And we also see another branch, which is Arjun's branch. So in real time, while I was creating my branch and doing my changes, Arjun thought he should do the same thing. Maybe he thinks he can improve this part in a different way. So I can look at that. And he made his a little bit taller with a fillet on the top. So now let's say a third team member is coming into this document fresh and he wants to see what's happening. So he can just click on the version control and then see that there was a main and 2 branches. So he might want to compare these 2 branches to see what happened. So on this page, you can see Harbin's branch is in blue and Arjun's is in red. And in the gray over here, it's what was similar. So we can move the slider to show more of Arjun's branch, which is in the red. It's a little bit translucent to see the differences. really clearly, and you can go all the way to see what Arjun's branch is. Now let's say that this third team member thought this was a great change on Arjun's part, and he wants to make that the part we'll print out and put on the robot. So he can go back to the main, and from Arjun's branch, he'll select merge into current workspace. So this made the cylinder just like it was from Arjun's branch. And let's say this is the final version, and it might be ready for the robot. And then a short description would just be merged from Arjun's branch. And create, and now this part's ready for the robot. So these were just some of the tools that we use a lot on Wizards that really help us collaborate and use Onshape a lot better. Thanks for listening, and if you have any questions, please email us at wizards.exe@gmail.com.
Thanks, Harbin and Arjun. They really made it easy to see how easy it is to collaborate with Onshape by importing a file, showing how to use share, invite people to use the files, show the comments option, show follow mode, and then show us how to branch and merge a model. Thanks, guys.